Hi everyone, I'm Jill, the founder of Homeschool for Real Life and the creator of our first grade math curriculum. And I am so excited to tell you it's ready. Our first grade math curriculum is available for you to order in print. So here it is. I'm going to give you a sneak peek so you can see inside and find out what exactly is involved. So our math curriculum is a set of 3 books. Our second grade I don't quite have in my hands yet, so I'll show you that one when it gets here, but it is set up very similarly. So there are 3 books included in your curriculum. The first is the teacher guide, and this one tells you how to teach. Now, one thing that's really nice about it is it's not that thick. So our teacher guide does not have pages and pages for you to read each time you want to teach your child. We wanted you to spend your time teaching, not reading our lesson plans. And so they're brief enough that you can read them and then move on and be ready to work with your child, but thorough enough that you should understand how to teach your child effectively. So all first grade math concepts are included in this one, all second grade in the other one, so that you will be able to teach your child everything they need to know with the instructions in the teacher guide. And I'll go over that with you in just a minute. The next one is the Student Workbook. This is practice for your child. We've specifically developed the pages in here to target math skills, key math skills that your child needs to develop in first grade. So this does not have a workbook page for every day because we don't believe that's the most valuable way for your child to use their math time in first grade. It's much more valuable for them to be exploring math in different ways with you, talking about it, and then doing the practice when it's needed, when it's appropriate. And so that's what we've put in here for you. If your child is finished with math and they're ready to go play, let them go play. They don't need to do a worksheet just so that they've done a worksheet that day. And then it says right here, additional materials. This title has changed. This is now called the Games and Activities book. And the reason why is because additional materials makes it sound like you don't really need it. Like if you want them, sure. If not, you can skip this one. And that is not the case. These are so important. This is kind of the heart of the math program right here. This is what will allow you to have fun with your child. So we've designed this curriculum in order for you to sit down with your first grader and explore math together. I love teaching and I love learning. And to me, teaching should help our kids love learning. That's the goal of our teaching, right? Is to get them thinking and asking questions and wondering and investigating and exploring. That is the goal. And a lot of teachers and parents are uncomfortable with math. They don't like it. They don't feel comfortable teaching it. And therefore, it's not really given much of a place. And the kids don't have much fun. Because if you're not enjoying teaching it, they're probably not enjoying learning it. So this curriculum is designed to help you sit down and feel confident teaching math to your child and to have fun with them so that they'll have a great experience with math and see that it makes sense and it's meaningful and we can enjoy thinking through problems together. So that's how this is designed, for you to work with your child most of the time and then to make sure they're developing a solid math foundation while having fun. So let's take a closer look. Let's dive in right away with the games and activities. These are the fun parts right here. So here's your table of contents. And then this book we've made spiral bound so that you can easily cut out pages. Most of the pages in here are made for you to be able to cut them out, cut them apart, and use them with your child. We've made them really colorful. There are some pages that are in there kind of as black line masters. Those are templates just for you to copy and use over and over with your child. But there is so much fun stuff in here. These are games for your child and you to enjoy together that again are targeted math practice. So you will be practicing key math skills with these activities while you're having fun together. So there are lots and lots of fun games and activities in here that you and your child can enjoy together and make sure that you are covering all important first grade math skills and concepts in a way that they will understand and remember. This one, the Student Workbook, is also filled with colorful pages. So there's your table of contents again. And then there are colorful, engaging ways for your child to practice in here. There are lots of story problems. Story problems are not boring. Story problems are where math comes to life. This is where your child sees the math that they've been doing applied in real life situations. So we've been careful to write problems that are interesting for kids. They relate to things that they might see in their everyday life. And then we've also written them to come at math from different angles. So sometimes we tend to give math problems to our kids and write story problems in the same way over and over. And so they kind of learn this formula of, okay, this plus this gives me the total, there we go. But in real life, math comes at us from all different angles. Sometimes that unknown number is not at the end of the problem, it's stuck right in the middle. And so we've written these problems very carefully to have your children think about math in different ways, so that they're seeing it from different angles, which extends their understanding, deepens their understanding, and helps them be able to see math in real life, no matter which direction it comes at them from. So there are lots of fun practices in here, fun ways for them to practice, and even some things that kind of walk them through step by step, thinking through some things. So this is the Student Workbook with practice for your child. Again, not a page a day because they don't need it, just key skills that we want them to take a second look at there. And then finally, your teacher guide. So this is just so important because it shows you what to do each day to make sure you are giving your child quality math instruction without sitting them down in front of a screen for a computer to teach, or without leaving their instruction up to somebody else. So this is so that you can sit down with your child, know that you are teaching them in effective ways, teaching them everything they need to know in first grade. You can have fun, and you'll have a front row seat to see how your child is learning. You will know what they understand and what they need to work on more, and you'll be able to see what your child enjoys, what makes them light up when they're thinking about math. So it's really, really great to sit right next to your child while they're doing their math, while they're learning, and watch them, their understanding grow. So here's your table of contents. A letter of introduction. Don't skip it because it tells you some important things about using this program. One of the things that it goes over for you is additional materials you will need. There aren't many. We were very careful not to make a lot of things that you have to buy. So there are picture books recommended that you should get at the library, or if you don't have that option, you can look on YouTube. Somebody's read just about every book out there. And if you can't get it, you could purchase it or just skip it, right? So I'm not asking you to buy all the books recommended in here, but I do think picture books are a really valuable way for kids to see math. So those are recommended in there for you. There are also games you can buy if you want to, but you don't have to. There are lots of games included in the curriculum for you. So you will have fun doing math with your child whether you choose to buy those or not. Most of the materials you use will be just fun things you have around the house, like toys and food. My kids love when I ask them to go grab their toys to do math. Even now, they're older and they still love when I ask them to go get their toys for math time. So we'll use things like that you already have. And then there are probably about 3 things that I recommend that you buy. They're not expensive and we will use them year after year. I use them in all the different years of curriculum that we have. So that's all explained there. And then you'll see inside, the curriculum for first grade is broken down into 4 lessons. You can think of them as units, and those are broken down into weeks. And the weeks have the title. Right here in weeks 1 and 2, we're working on adding and regrouping within 20. They tell you the concepts and skills that your child will be working on, all the materials that you need to gather, which again are mostly from the 2 books, the workbook or the additional materials book, and then sometimes things like you'll need, colored pencils and things like that. Then you have your suggested daily plans. So day 1 is over here, and then you can see day 2, 3, day 2, 3, 4, 5. Go down the page. It's not pages to read. These are short instructions for you in order to teach your child so that you can just read them and then get busy. You'll read all your daily instructions, and then at the end there's a check for understanding. This goes back over those learning goals that you're working on with these lessons so that you can make sure your child knows these things. And so as you look through the check for understanding, you can figure out, does my child fully understand these things or not? And then you have a couple of choices. If your child does, you're ready to move on. If not, you can take a little more time, use the activities again to go over it, or often what I recommend, just stick a little Post-it tab there and mark it for yourself for review later. Something to come back and review again. So maybe you want to play a specific game that you did or do an activity again, because a lot of times our kids' brains keep working on things even when we're not working on them together, when we're not actively teaching and practicing them. Your child's brain kind of keeps working on it, and it keeps growing and developing. So you may find it just takes another look back later, a quick look back, and they'll totally get it. So sometimes just marking it for review later, if you think they don't totally have it, is enough. All right, so we go on. We have our weeks, daily instructions, check for understanding. There is a review that lists all of the activities you can go back and try again at the end of each lesson, which again is like a unit. And then checks for understanding there and the end of year review and practice. So again, in order to use our first grade math curriculum, you're going to want all 3 books. So if you are not homeschooling, if you're not actually teaching your child, you can totally use the workbook or the games and activities for some extra review and practice. But if you are teaching your child, you are homeschooling, you are going to want all 3, because the teacher guide tells you how to teach your child, what activities to do together. The student workbook provides important extra practice, and the games and activities are what's going to make it so much fun for you. So all of those student workbook pages and games and activities are woven right into the instructions in your teacher guide, so you'll know when to complete those. So I really hope that you enjoy using our math curriculum. It is designed for you and your child to enjoy math together, to help them grow into learners who love math and are totally capable of handling any numbers that come their way. We looked around because we wanted to give you the best prices we could on our materials, and printing can be expensive. So my husband Dave did lots of research, and he found that thebookpatch.com was our best option for printing these books. So we kind of held our breath and waited. When we were opening this box, we're thinking, oh, what are these going to look like? Because their printing costs so much less than everywhere else. And they are fantastic. These are wonderful quality books. So we've found the best possible option we could for you. So I will try to put links in here for you that lead specifically to our books. But if not, you can go to thebookpatch.com and search for first grade math, and you will see all 3 of our books come up. Or you can search for second grade math if you have a second grader. Now, if you do want a little more explanation than you find in the teacher guide here, you can join our membership at H4RL.com. And this is a really exciting opportunity for you because we have live Q&As regularly where you get to ask me any questions you need to about your teaching, and I will answer them right there for you. or you can go into the forums on the site and you can ask questions whenever you want, and I will respond, and you may even hear from some of our other members some good advice and ideas. You can also access our kindergarten math curriculum there. So if you have a kindergarten student in addition to your first or second grader, you can find videos there that explain how to teach all kindergarten math concepts, and then you can find the materials for kindergarten in the tabs in there. There are also videos with further explanation of how to teach first grade math and second grade math. So all of the activities that you're going to find in your teacher guide are explained and demonstrated in the videos, so that if you want that extra help, you can feel totally confident because you'll have seen me teach it, and I'll have talked to you about misconceptions to watch for, what questions to ask your child, and things like that, different ways to try things so that they'll totally understand. So all of that is there for you. Plus, you can see our poetry in the primary grades unit. You can find our calendar unit there, our science explorations, and our enhanced read alouds show you how to take an excellent picture book and apply it across all subjects. So we have those in there for you as well. You can watch the video to hear about different activities you can do with some really great picture books. So all of that is available to you in our membership. Here's the other good news. If you purchase all 3 books for 1 grade level, so you get the whole curriculum, the teacher guide, the student workbook, and the games and activities, then you are going to get a free month of membership to H4RL.com. So you'll be able to go in and check out all those things I just talked about for free and see if you think it's something that would be useful to you. So a free 30-day membership is included with your 3-book purchase. So I hope that you enjoy using our materials, the first grade H4RL math curriculum. It is designed to help you and your child have a great time doing math together and to help you feel confident that your child is developing a solid math foundation.